Here we go, guys. Okay, so again, honestly, I know it's frustrating because I say it's easy, but this really is really kind of easy. All right. So again, what I'm going to do for us is I'll go down today and do the odds. All right. And then homework, you just have to do the evens. All right. So here we go. Now, someone tell me the square root of what is 7? Someone tell me the square root of what is 7? Say it. 49. Now the question is, mathematically, you can just know that. But again, we're learning to solve. So that means we use inverse operations. So I want everybody to be able to tell me the inverse of a square root is a what? Square. Exactly correct. So what I want everybody to do is I want everybody to put a little square button right here or a square sign right there. Oh, hold on. My computer is. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Can you guys, there you go. All right, does everybody see that now? Yeah. All right, so now that means that F is equal to what? F is equal to, which is 49. All right, F is equal to 49. Is everybody okay? Now, here we go. Number 3, what do I do? Square both sides. So what happens to the square and the square root? They cancel each other out. So I want everybody to write 5p equals, what's 10 squared? 100. And now what do I do to both sides? Divide by 5. So p is equal to 20. Now it is going to get a little bit harder, so be careful. All right, now number 5. Okay, again, we're going to square both sides. So I end up with 4 times 2 equals u. Now again, that's generally where people get confused. So let's review. If I square 2, what does that become? 4. And if I square the square root of 2, that becomes a what? 2. Now what holds these operations together? Multiplication. So that's why the answer is u equals 8. All right, u equals 8. Now's the time to speak up if you're not sure about something. All right, let's try number 7 now. Now, we always first have to isolate the square root. Isolate the square root. What does that mean? That means this minus 6 is in the way. So how do I get rid of minus 6? You just add 6. Now you don't have to do that. You're just going to say the square root of g is equal to what? 9. The square root of g is equal to 9. And now what do I do to both sides? Square both sides. So g is equal to what? G is equal to 81. Everybody feeling pretty comfortable about this? All right, here we go. Is the square root isolated on number 9? Yes. So I can just put a square button and a square, or square both sides. So what happens to the square and the square root? They cancel out, so I'm left with
2t plus minus 1 equals 20.
Beautiful. Now, listen, guys, I don't want you to say 2t equals 26 and then t equals 13. I don't want you to do that. Everybody should be able to look at that and just say t equals what? t equals 13. All right, you don't have to do the plus one anymore. All right, that's so old, and it's just no reason. Now, if you're sitting there going, come on now, slow down, show me what you did, I'll be happy to do that. All right, does anybody have any questions with how I got t equals 13? All right, so number 11, what do I have to do first? You have to, yes, you add 2 to both sides. So now we're going to write the square root of x plus 4 equals, now we square both sides. It's really simple. Come on, guys, really simple. So I end up with x plus 4 equals 9. And if you get a little confused, you can just say, well, I just squared both sides. So now we just say x equals 5. Simple, simple, simple. 13, I have to isolate first. So how do I get rid of dividing by 3? Multiplying by 3. All right, so that leaves me with the square root of d is equal to 12. Square both sides.
E equals 144.
Yes. Okay, now what you have to do is going forward, everyone, these are now finally where I've got to teach you something. Not really, but these are the ones that are a little bit harder. All right, these are the ones a little bit harder. So I need everybody to concentrate now. It's been super easy up to this point. Is this really hard? No, it's not really hard. You just got to remember some things. All right, so how do I get rid of a square root? Square. So we're going to square both sides. That's right. So now I have x squared equals x plus 2. Now, someone tell me, this is a quadratic. So to solve a quadratic, I have to set it equal to 0. Yes. All right. That's why for those of you guys who know how to factor, this is going to be what? Simple. For those of you guys who never learned how to factor, this is a nightmare. All right. So come on now. Let's practice. Move everything to the left. So you should be able to tell me quickly that x squared minus x minus 2 equals 0. Now we got to factor this. Someone remind me. And then the only factors of 2, which are 2 and 1. I want it to be -1, so that means -2 and +1. All right. Everybody okay with that? All right. So now set the factors equal to 0. X minus 2 equals 0. X plus 1 equals 0. So X is either what? 2 or -1. All right. So now I need to put a big star. You say, yes, I'm super smart, but I'm not smart enough to finish the problem. Can a square root be negative? No, square root cannot be negative. So now I need to ask you a question. Please look up here. If I plug in 2, is that going to work? Does 2 equal the square root of 2 plus 2?
No.
Well, let's find out. What's 2 plus 2? 4. What's square root of 4? So 2 works. Now let's try -1. Does -1 equal the square root of -1 plus 2? The answer is obviously no. The reason why we say obviously no is because can a square root be -1? No, it cannot. So this right here is actually called an extraneous solution. This is not an answer. The only answer is what? The only answer is 2. All right, here we go. 17, what do I have to do to both sides? Square both sides. So let's do that. Square, square. So now 6x minus 9 equals x squared. Move everything to the right because we want it to be positive. So x squared minus 6x plus 9 equals 0. Come on now, give yourself 30 seconds. Factor quickly. Go. Somebody tell me what that factors to.
3x equals, x minus 3, x minus 3.
Thank you very much. Whoever said double root, I appreciate that too. X minus 3. So we can just now, look, if you're smart enough to say, look, please don't make me write down x minus 3 equals 0. You don't have to write that down because we know x equals what? X equals 3. Now, I always tell kids for square roots, you can have problems. So we want to plug 3 in. I'm plugging 3 in right here. What's 6 times 3? 18 minus 9. Square root of 9. Does that equal 3? Yes. All right. So is 3 okay? 3 is an answer. Very good. All right, come on now. Some of you need to wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up. All right, here we go with 19. How do I undo a square root? Square both sides. Here we go. Square and square. Notice I'm putting parentheses. Now, again, some of you guys are going to private schools. They're expecting you to know this. You're going to be taking a standardized test soon. So the left is just what? X plus 5. Now, the right side, remember, x minus 1 times x minus 1. X squared minus x plus 1. So this becomes x squared minus 2x plus 1. Come on now, this one, 19, is a challenge. 19 is a challenge. Now it's a quadratic, so we have to set it equal to 0. So I have to move the x and move the what? 5. Move the x and move the 5. So x squared minus 3x minus 4 equals 0. Now it's a quadratic. We got to factor it, please. Somebody help me with the factoring. X and x. Yes, sir. -4 and +1. Thank you again. So now my answer is either x equals 4 or x equals. Now, listen, if I plug -1 in here for x, does that create a negative on this side? Can the absolute value be set equal to a negative? So again, just to make sure you're hearing me, this is an extraneous solution. Does 4 work? 4 plus 5, square root of 9, 4 minus 1. There you have it. It works. All right, super important, guys. Good practice problems. All right, here we go with 21. Now, what am I doing with this plus 5? Moving it over. Come on, guys. Square root of r minus 3 equals r minus 5. Now, what do I have to do to both sides? Square and square. Okay, so I'm going to give you about 30 seconds. Number 21 is just like number 19. So you've got to square r minus 5. Come on, I want you to do that right now and see if you can get it correct. Square r minus 5. If you can do that, then you're pretty much good. Come on, don't rest. No resting. So my equation on the left is just what? R minus 3 equals, the equation on the right is going to be r squared minus 10r plus 25. That is correct. What? R minus 5 times R minus 5. How much is this? And what's this? That's how I got the negative 10. Yeah, there's no R squared there, guys. You see it now? It's negative 10R. Yeah. All right. And R times R is your R squared. And negative 5 times negative 5 is your 25. Right? All right. Now you want it equal to 0. So you got to move the R and the negative 3. So R squared, what would that be? Move this over here. Negative 11R. And then I have to add 3. What is that? Plus 28. Everybody okay with that? And now we're doing what? Factoring. So what does it factor? That's correct. Good job. And so now we know R is either equal to 4 or 7. Now, is it possible for it to be 7? If I plug 7 in, do I get a positive number? 7 minus 5 is positive. So that one's going to work. What about if I plug in 4? 4 minus 5 is what? Can a square root be negative? No. So that's the extraneous solution. No good. Everybody okay with that? All right, here we go. One more. Let's go. All right. Now, what am I going to do here? Square. When I square the left side, it becomes 5n plus 4 equals. Now, come on. This is the third time now I'm asking you to square n plus 2 squared. All right. I want to square n plus 2 squared. Wow. Thank you. N squared plus 4n plus 4. Beautiful. Anybody have any issues with that? Now we want to set it equal to 0, correct? So subtract 5n. Subtract 4. Wow. So now I just have n squared minus n equals 0, which is a good review now because there's a GCF here. What can I, yeah, that's right. I can pull out an n parentheses, n minus 1. I factored out an n. Now set them equal to 0. So n is equal to either 0 or n is equal to 1. Does 0 work?
No.
You guys are being
Oh, wait,
parents.
yes, because if.
What's 0 plus 2? Is that okay?
Yes.
It's positive. That's good. What about 1? Does 1 work?
Yes.
Yes, because that's also positive. So this time, both answers worked. This time, both answers worked. Right? Yeah, you have to. All right, because it can't equal a negative. It can't equal a negative. Can I what?
We have to, like, you know from that, like, when it's both, like, if they're both, they both work, or if they're both positive.
then they're the answers. Yes. 100% true. All right. If this quantity over here is positive, then it's going to work. All right. Now, your job probably is to do what? Your job is probably to do the evens. And then you just have to understand that 16 through 24 are just like 15 through 23. All right. Now, I was feeling rather generous, okay, with the homework. So I want everybody to scroll down. Uh-oh, there's a blank page, but that was just the test. And the reason why I put that there is because, again, guys, if you didn't do very good on the test, you should practice. All right, you should practice. All right, and it's been a while. All right, so what I want to do with us, because we have some time, is I'm just going to review the test with you. All right, so I want everybody to scroll down. All right, and let's go ahead and knock out some of these problems. All right, let's see how much you remember. It's been a long time. That's why I put this on here, so we could review everything you need to know about radicals. All right, so here we go. Who remembers the square root of 72? What does that break down to? Thank you very much. 36 times 2. So then what's the square root of 36? There you have it. 6 radical 2. Easy. All right, let's check out number 3 now. Number 3 is what I'm on. What is that? 6 radical 2. Now remember, your job is to say, okay, I forgot. It's been a long time. Everybody good with that? All right, here we go. Number 5. We got to break these down. 12 breaks down to what? 4 and 3. So now, what's the square root of 4? There's a 5 out here, so that becomes?
Or 3.
Wait a minute. What's the square root of 4? Times 5. So minus 10 radical 3. What's the square root of 27 break down to? 9 times 3. That would be plus 15 radical 3. Everybody okay with that? Yeah, 9 radical 3. And once again, same people are always talking and the rest of you are just writing. I really don't like that you're just writing things. I want you to participate. If you forgot something, just let me know. All these tests are coming up for you, right? If you're going to Jesuit, they're going to give you a test. Tampa Prep, they're going to give you a test. Any private school, they're going to give you a test. All right, here we go. Let's take a look at number 7. That's 11 radical 2. Thank you. Because there's a common 11, and then there's a 2 left behind. Very good. For me, anyway. Everybody's good? All right, let's try number 9. Oh, does anybody remember what 80 was?
15 and 4.
Nope.
16 and 5.
16 and 5. Thank you for remembering that. Now, does everybody see this 5 here, right? So that means there's probably a 5 over here. So that's 5 times what? 5 times what? 49. Thank you, whoever said that. 5 times 49. So what's the square root of 16? 4 radical 5 minus what? 7 radical 5, which is negative what? 3 radical 5. All right, come on now. Next, 11 multiplying. All right, so again, 3 times 4, 12. Smiley face number 1, how much is this? Negative 4 radical 2. How much is this? Positive 3 radical 2. And then what's negative radical 2 times positive radical 2? Negative 2. 12 minus 2. Negative 4 radical 2 plus 3 radical 2.
Negative.
Negative, thank you. Negative radical 2. All right, here we go with 13. Let's find 13. Squaring both of these. What's 3 squared? What's square root of 7 squared? 9 times 7.
So 63.
There you go. 63. All right, here we go. 15. 20 has a what? 5 times 4, square root of 4. So that makes 8 radical 5. Uh-oh, 125. 5 times 25, right? So this becomes minus 5 radical 5. Minus 3 radical 5. Yeah, some of you put square root of 5 down for this. What is this? 0. If you have 8 radical 5 minus 5 radical 5, that's what? 3 radical 5. 3 radical 5 minus 3 radical 5 today is what? 0. Not radical 5. 0. All right, that tricked about half of you. All right, 17. What's the square root of 16?
4.
So this is 4 over radical 3. So what do I have to do to both sides?
Times 5 radical 3.
Multiply by radical 3. Thank you very much.
4
4
radical 3 over 3.
radical 3 over 3. Beautiful. 19, reduce the fractions. 3, 6 reduces to 1 over 2. Does everybody see that's what that's looking like? Does everybody see that?
Yeah.
Now you're allowed to have a square root on the bottom.
No.
So you have to multiply the top and bottom by a square root of 2.
1 radical 2 over 4.
You got it. 1 radical 2 over 4. Very good. Yes.
It's the same thing, you could just put radical 2.
Yeah, radical 2 over 4. All right, let's take a look at 21. Can I reduce this?
Yes.
So that becomes radical 1 over radical 25. This was a mystery to some of you. What's the square root of 1? What's the square root of 25? What was hard about that? A lot of you had trouble with that one also. And again, 1/5 is the same as 0.2. All right, here we go. 23. Let's break this guy down. 8 is what? So that gives me
10
2 radical 2. 10.
18 is what?
92.
39.
So 21 radical 2.
Good job. And then 32 is probably
16.
exactly.
So that's 24.
Very good. So final answer. Square root of 16 is what?
13.
Is that right? 13 radical 2? Everybody good?
10 minus 21 is 11. Plus
Now, to me personally, I just like doing 24 minus 21 is 3 and then 3 plus 10. All right, but again, it doesn't matter how you do the combination, right? Was that it? Yeah, that's it, guys. All right, so now your job, please, tonight, go back, do the evens. All right, it's getting closer to the time where you're going to be sitting in front of somebody trying to take a test. All right, you got to know this information. All right. So, most important, please, radical equations. All right, lots of good information. Get busy on that, please.
You do the even